What if I told you there's a pancake so good for your gut, so packed with protein, and so scientifically designed to boost your energy, microbiome, and reduce inflammation that you could eat it for breakfast, dessert, and a snack weekly without the guilt? These aren't just any pancakes because they're also gluten-free, dairy-free, and built to fuel your body, not fight it. And there's an added game changer, a forgotten ancient preparation technique that makes them even easier to digest, especially for my people with gut issues. Now stick around to the end to find out how to grab my 3-page Soak and Activate cheat sheet. It's a science-backed roadmap to turning grains, nuts, and legumes from gut wrecking to gut healing in minutes using a simple kitchen staple. Alrighty, are you ready to flip your breakfast game forever? Hi, I'm Leilani. I'm a chef, a microbiome nutritionist, and a busy mum. And I'm here to help you and your loved ones have good gut health without sacrificing the meals you love. Because food should be both delicious and good for you. So hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you can get my weekly cooking classes and my latest gut health talks. So on the pancakes, each pancake has over 13 grams of a complete protein, meaning it delivers all of the 9 essential amino acids needed for you to repair, energize, and thrive. That's 5 times the amount of protein on your average white flour pancake. They're also high in fiber, and so fewer calories, better blood sugar balance, and they feed your gut bugs like champions. Then I've got a raspberry Chia Jam that is prep friendly, and it's got a hit of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. So this is a gut-loving power meal for your body, brain, and belly. And it's a real quick blender job. You cook them up, make a big batch, freeze them, and then just pop them in the toaster on busy mornings. And honestly, they're super filling. So 1 to 2 pancakes is all you'll need. So let's get started. I'll go with the bananas. Okay, so we've got bananas here, and you can see I've got yellow and green. The green one is the king of resistant starch. So this is what you need to be gut friendly. You don't need the whole one. You can even have like a little bit of it, but essentially it is one of the richest sources of resistant starch. So that improves the short chain fatty acid production, which helps heal gut lining, lower inflammation, and improve stools. So that's a must. And back on stools, go and check out my talk on decoding your poop, because it is one of the easiest ways to figure out what's actually going on in the gut. So I'm going to throw 2 bananas in. If you want the recipe, I'm going to have it on my email list. So jump down there, subscribe, and you'll get it to your inbox. Now with green bananas, you can use the actual green banana, or you can buy green banana flour and just put a spoon of that. It is kind of powdery, so you don't want to go crazy. So I would put 1/4 to 1/3 in this. And what I tend to do is freeze them. So I just kind of chop them up, peel them, chop them up in quarters, freeze them, and throw them into things like this. Now, depending on the ripeness of your banana, you may or may not need honey. The riper the banana, the more sweeter they are. These were medium ripe, so I'm going to have them for breakfast a lot, so I don't want them too sweet. But at home, if you go really ripe, you wouldn't add any sweetener, even if you want it as a dessert option. Now, the flours. Your option here is to make the recipe as I've made it, or if you are doing wheat and you want it to be a little bit more of a regular pancake flavor, because there is a little bit more whole grain flavor to this, you could even start with your kids doing half your flour and then a spoon of these guys into it, because these are the gut healthy additions, particularly this one. This is chickpea flour, also called besan flour. It is a prebiotic gut health legend. It's got resistant starch, soluble fiber, two of the best fuels for your microbiome. If you have issues with beans, because chickpea, obviously it's a flour of a bean, then it's likely you've got a bit of a dysbiosis there. So there's a protocol, because this is really, really healthy for your gut. It's one of the best. Resistant starch means it resists the breakdown by our enzymes and the bacteria eat it. So it's fuel for your gut bacteria. And so this is really a must to make it gut friendly, and so is the green banana. Now I've got a gut health course. It goes into how to eat beans to avoid the bloat in all different stages. It talks about recipes, testing, supplements, things that you can do to help if you've got a really bad gut, because it only gets worse if you don't address it. And I'll put the links in the description below so you can go and just check out the page if that's for you. So moving along, buckwheat flour. Yeah, buckwheat is gluten-free, believe it or not, even though it's got wheat in it. It's not a wheat-based product. It's got rutin in it, which is a flavonoid that actually lowers gut inflammation. So it's also a complete protein and has bees in it. So this is for energy. Now, the other thing we're going to do, and I'll show you at the end, how to have an additional basically it's a fermentation process that helps break down the bee sunflower or the chickpea and some of the buckwheat, so that if you do get prone to bloating, it will help with that. Fermented foods, I'm all about that. You really got to get that into your diet. So go and check out my talk on fermented foods right here, now or later, because it is a must. Now, buckwheat flour, if you can have a look, it actually doesn't look that different. It's quite white, but you can get the more grainy version. So just know that every brand is a little bit different. Okay, moving along, we got eggs. Now, an egg is not just an egg, okay? If you've heard the expression, you are what you eat eats, basically pasture raised is very, very different from caged, which is on both sides of the spectrum, and even better than organic, because organic means that the chicken is fed organic grain, and you want the chicken to eat from the grass, so pasture. So I always recommend pasture raised. It has, well, the research has shown that it's got 2 times more vitamin E, 3 times more omega-3, and 7 times the amount of beta-carotene. So essentially, this is really anti-inflammatory. And it's got B12, and it's a good source of protein. So that's why this particular pancake dish has so much protein. Okay, so we've almost got there. They're the main ingredients. I'm going to put a pinch of salt, which might seem strange, but it brings out the sweetness, believe it or not. Now I'm using a Celtic sea salt. I talk a lot about good salts. Salt is important. Get rid of table salt. It's got anti-caking agent in it. It's terrible for you. Salt is cheap. Good quality salt is really, really cheap. So I'm just going to put a pinch in here. And I mix it up. Sometimes I use iodized salt because it's good for the thyroid. When you're fermenting stuff, don't use iodized salt. Now, I'm not going to add honey, but you could add a little bit of honey if you want. And I'll talk about honey later, because when we're doing the jam. But what I will add is cinnamon. And one of the reasons cinnamon is so good, it is antibacterial, so it reduces harmful bacteria like E. coli and also reduces bloating. So to be honest, I put cinnamon on anything and everything that is sweet. So I'm going to put a dash. You can kind of see this is what it is right here, right? So it's pretty thick. Now, I'm going to add a dash of water, but you could add alternative milk, just a little bit for the consistency. I'm going to blend it up, and depending on if you want a thicker or a thinner pancake, more like a crepe, you can add a little bit more liquid. So I'll meet you back here in a sec. All right, welcome back. I'm not going to show you making a pancake, obviously, but what I want to show you is 2 things. 1, the technique to help break down the beans, and 2, the oil that I use. So with these pancakes, you want to go with a non-stick. I've got a really cool ceramic enamel pan here. let me know in the comments if you want me to do a segment on ceramic and the best pots and pans I use, because that's really a game changer for toxins. And also let me know if you guys use besan flour, like it's not, or chickpea flour. It's not overly common, but it is a very, very gut-friendly addition. So with these pancakes, I will add coconut oil. One of the reasons I love coconut oil is because of the lauric acid. You can see it here. This is a raw one, but it's also, I'm trying to keep it dairy-free, and it also is consistent with the flavors, but it does a really good job of being non-stick, and it has a good smoke point. So that's why oils can become very rancid. And so do not have industrial seed oils like vegetable oil, canola, soy in your house. I've done plenty of talks on it. I can do a specific talk on that if you want me to, but it is one of the worst things for your health. So all I've done is put a little bit of that in there, and I'm going to show you just the consistency of this. You can actually see some of the nice little bubbles happening there. Beautiful. While that's cooking away, I want to show you the technique that if you've got compromised gut and you eat these and you get bloated, I want you to try this at home. You're going to take a glass container or jar or something. It has to be glass. It can't be stainless steel or plastic. And it's got to be sterilized, so make sure it's really clean, boiling hot water, and then dried. You're going to put the liquid in there. This might seem like a lot of work, but it's only, you just have to pre-plan, because it's really not. The main thing is that you want to, so basically we're going to ferment it, okay? And there's a few different things you can use for this, but the main one, star of the show with particularly chickpeas, because every legume and grain requires slight adjustments for what substrate you use to break it down. So this is a traditional fermentation technique that's been used for a very long time. But I use, and many people use, apple cider vinegar. And so it's got the mother in it at the bottom, if you can see it there. It's got living enzymes in it, beneficial bacteria, and this neutralizes a lot of the lectins and the anti-nutrients, and essentially the bacteria in this start breaking it down. So you're going to put a little bit in there, and I have not too much because you don't want it to alter the flavor. There's actually a ratio quantity, and I've got it on my cheat sheets that have grains, legumes, and nuts, and how to neutralize the anti-nutrients that unlock a lot of the minerals, so it's bioavailable, but also reduce the bloating. And so if you want that, go and check out the links below. It's a 3-page document. It's fantastic. I have it printed and basically laminated to my wall. So you're going to mix that through, and all you're going to do is leave it. That's all it is. Because it's got eggs in it, I don't want to leave it out. So normally with fermentation, I might leave it out on the counter, but it's got raw eggs. So I'm going to put this one in the fridge overnight, and that will help break down the components within the beans. So that's something you should try, particularly with nuts, particularly with grains, if you want to make them easier for the body to digest. So I'm going to move along because you've all seen a pancake, but have a look how gorgeous this pancake is. And lucky for you, I have already made one. So you can see how it's a bit darker than regular pancakes. Now I'm going to bring my jam over here because I'm going to quickly show you this jam to put it on top of the pancake. Now, this is just frozen raspberries. I've got them because berries are so expensive, and they're really highly spread. So try to get the frozen ones that are organic. This is much cheaper than, I would never buy raspberries that were organic and do this because just fresh, it would be so expensive. But essentially, raspberries are packed with a polyphenol that feed up Akkermansia municiphilia, and so that helps boost metabolism. So that's why I've chosen raspberries. They're more high fiber as well, but really any berries will work. Raspberries are just the bee's knees. Now, I'm going to heat that up. So I've actually already heated up with a little bit of water, just a tiny splash of water. And I'll explain the other ingredients. So I'm gonna put like a little bit of salt in just because it helps bring out the sweetness. We talked about salt. I'm also going to add some cinnamon. So I'll add some cinnamon now. You don't have to, but like I said, I add cinnamon all the time. But really, you want to bring that to a boil and then turn the heat off, which this is already warm. And then you'll add your other ingredients. So I'll flick that off because when I'm adding things like chia and lemon and honey, I don't want to cook them so they can handle raw, warm temperatures, particularly this. So this is a raw honey, and honey is just, it's built with antibacterial power, basically. It's got micronutrients, gut feeding prebiotics, and the enzymes in there to help break down the food. But if you heat it, those enzymes die. So because frozen berries can be a little bit tart, I am going to add, not too much, but I'll add a little bit of honey to my liking. And I'll also add lemon, okay? And lemon might seem strange because it's already kind of sour, but again, it's to do with the vitamin C content that helps the nutrients, and it helps with bile. So the lemon helps the kind of detoxification and bile flow. So it helps break down the protein and the carbs. Let me take that lemon seed out there because nobody wants a lemon seed. The other thing is I'm going to add a spoon of chia. So chia, I'm sure you all know this, but it's awesome because it basically forms a gel that helps protect the gut lining, and it's good for your brain. So I'll add a spoon, depends on the quantity. It'll all be in that recipe. And that's it. Basically, you'll give that a stir. Now, it doesn't look like much right now, but in 15 minutes that will swell up because chia actually absorbs 9 times its weight in water. So that'll swell up and it will become this gorgeous jam. Have a look at that. So it's sweet and a bit tart. So I'll move this over here so you can see. This I make in bulk and I keep it for about a week. So that's how I ended up meal prepping. So in the mornings, I flick this into the toaster. I put a gorgeous spoonful of this chia jam on top. My son loves this. Everybody loves this. It's lovable. And then this is optional, but I do like, normally I would have a second spoon, but I'm out of spoons. Just a scoop of, this is coconut yogurt because I'm keeping it dairy free. So scoop of yogurt, Greek yogurt, to add more protein, or coconut yogurt if you want. You don't have to, it's completely up to you, but it looks beautiful. And then I'll put another little shake of cinnamon on. Not too much, it's more for decoration. And there we go. The most gut healthy pancake you will ever eat. So get your kids involved in the process of it. I hope you try it at home. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've adapted the recipe. Also, what other toppings you might put on there. If you want to know more about prebiotics, go and check out my talks on prebiotics versus probiotics. I'll put the card right here. And love your guts.